All right, guys, welcome to Big Noon Saturdays, sponsored by AT&T Business as we enter the home stretch of the Big 12 schedule on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon here in Morgantown. West Virginia takes the field, unbeaten here at home this season, ready to take on Gary Patterson's Horned Frogs. And we hope your college football Saturday's off to a great start with Coach Mark Helfrich. I'm Joe Davis. TCU started this season 1-3. They've won back-to-back games, though, and they've done it looking more like you expect Gary Patterson's teams to look, playing really good defense.
No doubt about it, and the key has to continue today, and that's been pressure. 10 sacks in these last two games. Coach Patterson elated about that, and they have to keep that up today against West Virginia's Jarrett Doege, because if there's any chink in this kind of Horned Frog armor, it's the corners. They've had some injuries back there, some inexperienced guys playing, and Jarrett Doege is a capable passer.
Other side for West Virginia, second season under Neil Brown. They went 5-7 in his first year. Came into the year saying he wanted to be the most improved team in the country. By a lot of measures, they've improved a bunch, especially on defense. They're really good this year.
This defense is fast, is physical, great scheme. We'll get into that later, but kind of an under-the-radar great defense. You expect it from TCU, but these guys, it starts up front with the Stills brothers, but fast and physical linebacker play makes a ton of plays.
Celebrating Military Appreciation Day here in this Veterans Day week. There is Neil Brown, second season as the head coach after 4 really good years at Troy. Went 4-8 in his first year at Troy, then 3 consecutive 10-win seasons, and trying to have a similar turnaround here at West Virginia after the 5-7 debut year. Only Nick Saban and Mac Brown have more wins among active coaches than Gary Patterson, who's in his 21st season as the head coach. His win last week against Texas Tech, his 200th at TCU at 25 as an assistant. That was number 175 as the head coach. Well, it was low 30s this morning. Coach Helfrich, you had like 3 coats on.
It is heating up.
It's up to 48. Perfect football weather. No wind at all.
Special teams all day long, Joe. Look for something different. Something as a difference maker. 2 great defenses, some struggling offenses. Something's got to give.
West Virginia won the toss, deferred to the second half. Short kickoff, fair catch taken, and TCU to start at the 25-yard line with their sophomore quarterback Max Duggan leading the way out of Council Bluffs, Iowa. Took over as a starter week 3 of his freshman season. Only completed 53% last year, but that completion percentage way up to 65% this season. Where he's really stood out has been as a runner, though. He's TCU's leading rusher and coming off his best game in the ground. A career-high 154 yards and 3 touchdowns in the win against Texas Tech. And they needed every bit of that, a 34-18 win where they had 270 rushing yards and only 73 passing yards. It's Amari DiMercato running on the first play of the game into the arms of X-Reed Lowe. Makes the start for an injured Josh Chandler-Samido. This TCU offense, their 3rd in rushing offense in the conference, their 9th in passing offense.
X-Reed Lowe starting the game for, as you said, an injured Chandler-Samido. Watch this second level of this defense. Tyke Smith, 23, Tony Fields, number 1, and X-Reed Lowe, number 6, make a ton of plays as the Stills brothers eat up blocks.
Well, the top defense is in the Big 12 this season. First pass play of the day for TCU. On the move, Duggan throws incomplete, looking for Quentin Johnston. And not only is TCU's offense trying to gain some traction, they're trying to do it behind a depleted offensive line that will be without another starter today as Austin Myers is out, so Kelton Hollins moves up the right guard. They are down 3 starters on that offensive line, and as talented as these skill guys are, you're going to have time to get those skill guys the ball.
Tough challenge for this front today. We've noted the Stills brothers and everything they bring from a pressure standpoint. That last play is something that we'll see if that continues, trying to get Duggan on the move, on the perimeter, away from the fray.
3rd and 9 on TCU's opening drive. Duggan steps up, lets it go. There's Prowells for a TCU first down. Really talented tight end for the Horned Frogs that they want to get more involved.
And we just talked about it. Great protection. It was a 2-deep zone. Great job by Dougie keeping his eyes up and throwing a confident throw to Prowells.
After the third down pickup, Duggan looks to throw again. Trying to run away from Jeffrey Pooler. He's got a gain of 5. Pooler chased him out. You know, this defense for West Virginia we're talking about, it's been a huge turnaround. They were near the bottom of the Big 12 in many categories last season. One of the nation's best this year. The front with the Stills brothers and Jeffrey Pooler. They brought back all 3 of those guys, and so no surprise they've been good. Tony Fields, a transfer from Arizona, the Big 12's leading tackler. And then in the back end, they've been the top pass defense in the conference. Here comes Darwin Barlow, leading rusher for the Horned Frogs as far as running backs go. It's been running backs by committee, and he's taken the bulk lately.
It's a great second down run, converting a first down here for TCU. Great confident second throw there for Duggan after the tough overthrow on the boot pass. That's a big confidence builder for him to convert that first third down against this defense.
Quick throw to Blair Conrad, who gets hit right away by Tyke Smith. Freshman All-American last year, and he has not missed a beat here as a sophomore.
Just defeats the block. Tyke Smith, you'll see him come into your screen, defeats a double team, splits it, and a tackle for loss. There's the first of possibly many today for Tyke Smith. Dynamic player.
Out of Philadelphia. Second down 11 for the Horned Frogs, and they empty it out. Looking short side. Conrad's second reception. Makes Nick Troy Fortune miss and sets up a 3rd and short.
Talked with the TCU coaches yesterday, kind of asked them, hey, what's the answer? Are we going to get in empty and throw some quick game? There that was to try to neutralize this pass rush. West Virginia playing a lot more off coverage right now for some reason. That's not something they do. They like to get up and challenge it.
Well, especially interesting because of what you mentioned, TCU wanting to get Duggan some easy throws. West Virginia figured that would be the case. Thought we'd see more tight coverage to try and avoid that. Here's Duggan running for a first down into the arms of Darius Stills. I mean, you get a quarterback, coach, that goes 11 of 23 last week, just 73 yards. You're going to look for any way you can to get him off to a good start.
Absolutely, and you saw that first throw was the kind of bootleg naked where he just missed. He had Quentin Johnson, big old number 1, overthrowing the 6'4" freshman. And then those empty passes, that's a great rhythm play if you have off coverage.
But he had been much improved in terms of the efficiency, completing close to 70% of his passes on the year. Huge jump from his freshman season. Texas Tech just was not going to let them throw the ball. First carry of the day for the true freshman Kendry Miller goes nowhere.
Kendry Miller, this TCU, you know, the depth at the running back is exceptional here, and they're very excited about Kendry Miller, the unheralded freshman of that freshman crew, but 6'2", 206, and a dynamic guy. That full house backfield's kind of probably a product of Jerry Kill, who we'll get into later. Former Minnesota coach, Northern Illinois coach, has adapted part of his scheme to this offense.
They got really 3 offensive coordinators at this point: Kill, Meacham, and Cumbie. Here's Duggan rolling to his right, gets rid of it quickly. It's incomplete. There's Tyke Smith again, jarring it out of the hands of Zach Evans and making it 3rd and 9.
Great job by Pooler redirecting on Duggan, forcing the quick throw. And Evans, just another talented freshman out of the back, can't quite complete the deal. There's another naked bootleg there trying to get Duggan on the perimeter.
Converted 1 third down on this drive. Here's 3rd and 9.
Kind of in no man's land here, possible 4-down territory, possible run, setting up a manageable 4th down.
DeMercado in there at running back. West Virginia brings 4. It's picked up. Duggan with time. He'll loft one into one-on-one. End zone shot, but incomplete. Fortune tight coverage as he shot it up there for Mikel Barkley, and it's 4th and 9.
Great coverage by Fortune. You called it. He just was in his hip pocket, glued his left hip to the receiver's right hip. Couldn't coach that any better. Pressed it to the sideline. No chance.
This is a pass defense for West Virginia that's held the opponent to under 200 yards passing 8 of the last 9 games. Sam Ellinger last week, it was a Texas win, but Ellinger was just 15 of 31. Here's the punt. Perfectly done down to the 1-yard line. Jordy Sandy. Our progressive game flow takes us to break. It is TCU and West Virginia. Mountaineers with the ball for the first time when you come back. Its own 1-yard line, where they'll begin their first drive of the game with their quarterback Jared Dagey. Hasn't thrown an interception the last 3 games. Letty Brown with the ball on the first touch of the day, which is noteworthy for West Virginia. Brown was banged up in the loss at Texas, didn't practice much this week. They were hopeful they would have him, and they're going to kind of see what they get as this game goes on.
Yeah, you're fired up if you're a West Virginia fan, especially opening your first possession on the -1.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy you like to have in that situation. Physical runner. They come downhill with him again. And Garrett Waddle, leading tackler for TCU, has his first today. And so quickly 3rd down for the Mountaineers.
West Virginia are starting out with a new wrinkle, kind of a power set. Banged against the interior of this TCU defense.
That's something they couldn't really do when they lost Letty Brown against Texas last week. They bring in Alex Sinkfield, who is a good runner, but more of an outside runner. First 2 plays today to the teeth of the defense. First throw for Dagey. The wide side of the field, he's got Sean Ryan, the Temple transfer, for a first down. One of the many receivers who started to turn it on lately. Lost it at the end of the play, but he was marked down. Trayvon Merrick with the tackle.
Yeah, extremely talented receiver group, deep, talented. We'll see this ball. It looked like he was down. It didn't matter. West Virginia recovered it anyway. No, that ball was out.
Because he's on top of the defender.
He's on top of the defender.
You're right. So recovered by Ford Wheaton.
Ford Wheaton should get a couple more yards there. But, again, that's a great, confident first 3rd down conversion.
From a guy who's playing with a lot of confidence. Jared Dagey with 4 consecutive 300-yard games. He'll loft this one. Winston Wright. Incomplete. Underthrown with the Darius Washington coming back in coverage. This offense for West Virginia, like the defense, has made huge improvements from last year when they were dead last in the conference. Especially bad running the football last year. Out of 130 teams, there were 128th, but we're talking about Letty Brown. What a season he's having. Already more yards than he had last year. And a good shot at a 1,000-yard season for him.
Expect a bevy of those first down shots, the downfield shots from West Virginia against this TCU defense.
TJ Simmons on the jet sweep has a seam. There's a flag down as Simmons stays on his feet. Takes it into TCU territory, but likely coming back. The Winters ran him down after a 39-yard gain.
Yeah, huge game. It's going to come back. The center judge was trying to blow it dead and couldn't get anybody's attention.
Brandon Cruz, head referee today.
Prior to the snap, there was not a play. False start, offense, number 54. 5-yard penalty. It's 2nd down.
That's tough, man. You get that perimeter run going. The last thing you want is your left guard to jump early. Probably the least meaningful block on that play.
Right. It didn't look like much.
No, it didn't. He's actually, the way they're blocking that scheme, you can see him blocking to the right, so his block is a diversion.
Sure, you put that one in the memory bank, though. How much room TJ Simmons was going to have. 2nd down, 15, first West Virginia drive of the day. Dagey looking wide side, throwing for Ford Wheaton, who makes a diving catch for a gain of 9. Merrigan coverage. It'll be 3rd down against this TCU defense. It's always a strength under Gary Patterson. Although middle of the pack in most categories this season, they've been much better lately. You touched on it. The pressure they've been getting the last 2 games, outstanding.
Yeah, O'Shawn Mathis, just take a look at between 32 Mathis, 11 Coleman, and a bunch of other guys based on how it's schemed up from a Gary Patterson twist, games, pressures. Unbelievably talented front.
Trying to cover up some deficiencies in the secondary right now because of injuries. On 3rd down, that's another confident throw and a first down to Simmons to the 40. Merrick with a tackle.
They've run this combination several times. Watch a vertical, and then an out coming from the number 3 receiver. As they count inside in 1, 2, 3. They've run that similar scheme 3 times now. That seems to be a play du jour against this TCU coverage.
All kinds of pre-snap movement. Brown comes into the backfield. First down from the 40. It is Letty Brown. Stopped by D. Winters. You're talking about TCU's secondary. You know, coming into the year, corner was already going to be a question because of a couple guys they had to replace leaving for the NFL. But then Noah Daniels goes down with an injury. Keon Stewart goes down with an injury. They've got C.J. Caesar starting. And Caesar had been exclusively special teams player over his first 2 seasons before this, and they're having to move safeties to corner just to give him some kind of depth there.
Yeah, Gary Patterson, when you talk to him, he's still confident. 16, C.J. Caesar was a guy that got beat for 2 touchdowns last week. And then Hodges Tomlinson, the talented sophomore, extremely athletic. Obviously, that name very familiar to TCU fans.
Here's that jet sweep play that they broke it loose on with a penalty the first time. It works again. It's a first down to Simmons.
That was a great finish on the tackle because they got it. They've got the numbers on the perimeter. You can see the 2 tight ends arcing. If Banks can just finish a little bit better there, TJ Banks, a tight end, they're in business, and there was nobody left.
Washington made the tackle. Taking the offense on the move here on the first drive into TCU territory. We've seen all kinds of window dressing before the play, all this pre-snap movement. From the 43 on 1st and 10 play action. Daggy gets rid of it just in time. On the corner pattern, Winston Wright makes the catch. Leading receiver for the Mountaineers this season gets 23.
Great route, great protection. We've got a post and a corner combination, a classic kind of day 1 install route combination, and a great job hanging on to it by Winston Wright.
And that has not been a sure thing, not just picking on Winston Wright, really across the wide receiver group.
Of a catch is under review.
And because of that, you know, you're thinking, oh, no, not again. Only Texas Tech has had more drops in the Big 12 this year. Did Wright hang on here? They're going to check it. We'll see. Very quickly confirm the call on the field here. This was a catch for Winston Wright. One of the drops he had last week was a potential touchdown in what was a very tight loss at Texas.
Teammates fired up there. Great finish. Strong hands by Winston Wright. Trayvon Merrick on the scene.
So first down to the 20 on a drive that started back at West Virginia's 1. Play action. Into the flats. It's Wright again. He stepped out of bounds, bumped out of bounds by C.J. Caesar. And here they go, coach, into the red zone, which was the primary issue in that loss. They went 1 for 5 in terms of scoring touchdowns once moving inside the 20.
And you said it, drops. You had the, if you're wearing the burnt orange, it was a clean play. If you're wearing the blue and gold, it was pass interference on the last play, but got to be more efficient down here.
Daggy 5 of 6, make it 6 of 7 as Ryan gets his second catch. Nice job by Waddle to stick with him and make it 3rd and short.
Wallo's a fun player to watch, too. Just so diverse. Creates a lot of looks from this defense. Does a great. You saw him communicating on that last play. And a great job tracking down Ryan, force him out of bounds, send up a 3rd and 2.
West Virginia was just 6 of 16 on 3rd down last week, and that was another spot where they really missed Letty Brown. His ability in situations like this, 3rd and short. They'll throw it. Brown swings out of the backfield, and he's wide open. 1st and goal for West Virginia. Washington pushes him out. They convert again, and in a drive that started back at the 1, 1st and goal.
We talked to Gary Patterson yesterday, asked him, Coach, last year, Letty Brown. He goes, yeah, we got to do a better job with him. The first time they're in the red zone, they need to play 3rd and 2. Swing Letty Brown out of the backfield. Great catch. Clearly steps out of bounds there at about the 1.5. Athletic, versatile guy, Letty Brown.
Hand it to him here. He gets tripped up by Adarius Washington, who's been everywhere so far for TCU, and it's 2nd and goal.
And along with those red zone ills from last week, it'll be interesting here. Neil Brown, kind of an air raid background. If you don't know much about him, played at Kentucky, obviously coached at Troy, coached at Texas Tech for a long time. He wants to send a message with his team, I think, and pound the ball in, is what it felt like in talking to him this week.
They ran for a season-low 43 yards against Texas last week. They've got Brown back, tried to go over the top, hardly got anything, and it's 3rd and goal. So trying to send a message, but TCU's front standing tall.
Yeah, a lot of pounds in between those tackles on that last play.
There's some really good defensive linemen Texas has that West Virginia was really impressed with, but TCU not slouches up front either.
Not at all. Not at all.
And now 3rd and goal. They're 3 for 3 on 3rd down on this drive.
You see Cooper in there right now for TCU, submarining it.
It is Diggy to sneak it in for the touchdown for West Virginia. A 99-yard touchdown drive to start the day.
This great job by Daggy and everybody. Watch the submarine tech here by the defense technique. They go below the waist of the offensive lineman. Daggy goes over the top, and a great surge. And if you're Neil Brown, you couldn't have drawn that up any better. Start it on the 1 and run it in the end zone.
Yeah, when it didn't work, handing it off, trying to jump in, they said, okay, let's sneak it and have our tight end literally tackle our quarterback from behind into the end zone. You coaches, genius, I tell you.
That's Matt Leinart. Reggie and Matt Leinart.
Yeah. The extra point is good from Casey Legg. Winston Wright, nice reception to help set it up. West Virginia does something they had a hard time doing last week. Capitalize when they move in the red zone. 0-0 West Virginia. Longest touchdown drive of the season, both in terms of plays and yards. 7.5 minutes. They go 99 yards.
That's impressive against anybody, but especially against a run-stopping first defensive Coach Patterson.
Able to finish it off with the 3rd and goal quarterback sneak from Daggy. TCU set to get the ball again. A short kick taken to the 13 by Savion Williams. Oh, look out, reaching for that ball as a West Virginia coverage team. Williams hangs on to it, and the Horned Frogs will start at the 28-yard line. Second drive of the day for Max Duggan and the TCU offense after this break. On about 15,000, and it feels like 50.
It's awesome. How great is it? You got cheerleaders, you got bands, you got outfits. It's just normal daily wear in Morgantown right there.
A couple long drives for these teams. West Virginia able to pay its off with a touchdown. TCU had to punt after an 11-play drive. This drive begins from the 27-yard line. Trying to get Duggan with another quick throw, and he sails Quentin Johnston. Got hit as he let it go.
Yeah, great pressure inside, and Duggan just sails it over Johnson. That's hard to do. Can't even set his feet, and Dante Stills is pulling up on him.
And Duggan has taken a bunch of hits this season, more than 3 sacks per game allowed by this offensive line, down 3 starters from what they planned to begin the year. Duggan to run it here, coming off his best rushing performance as a Horned Frog. Gets 4 to be 3rd and 6. Alonzo Adai bearing down on him. He had 154 yards in that win against Texas Tech. 3 touchdowns. He had an easy one from 3, but then he broke off a 48-yarder and an 81-yard touchdown.
Yeah, really showing his speed, almost 130 yards on 2 plays. You can see them trying to get Quentin Johnson involved there with the fake jet sweep. They gave him the ball in the last couple of weeks, so trying to counterplay off that.
Converted a 3rd down on that first drive to Pro Wells. In trouble. He steps away from Tonker. He throws incomplete. A dive with the coverage on Johnston, and it's 4th down.
This great coverage downfield. He stepped up and kept his eyes up, but you'll see Adai 4 will be the guy ending up making this play from right here. Duggan downfield, looks to his right, primary guy covered, got a little mesh route, steps up, eyes up, and Adai maybe a little left hand.
West Virginia fans think they got one coming to them.
I was going to say they deserve it after last week. Watch the long snapper here. We got a first-time long snapper, Will Houston.
They come after him and just drill the punter, Sandy. No question about that. Flags are flying everywhere. As the return is brought to the 24. Yeah, you mentioned Will Houston, first-time long snapper. I don't know what all the yapping is about. You're going to get in trouble when you get to the sideline. Question is, will it be roughing or running into the kicker?
Personal foul, roughing the kicker. Defense, number 24, contact to the kicker's plant leg. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Penalties have been a problem for both these teams so far this season, and a big one there that extends this drive.
You just hate that. Obviously, Neil Brown feeling good about that drive, wants to come after him. They almost get there, but if you almost get there and hit the plant leg, TCU gets the ball back. Just brushed the plant leg. The punter did a nice job of selling that one.
It's part of the job description,
No
right?
doubt,
You'll
yep.
be able to sell it.
Yeah, there's actually less contact on the punter than initially looked like. The two West Virginia guys ran into each other.
So instead of West Virginia ball, TCU has a first down at the 44. Another quick throw. Here's Pro Wells. Not often you do a quick throw to a guy who's 6'4", 250, but he is pretty darn athletic. Moves really well for a guy of that size.
This guy has a bright future. He's only a junior. He had shoulder issues, had a hamstring issue, but a big, thick, athletic guy with tremendous range. Quentin Johnston there doing a great job on the perimeter blocking for his tight end partner.
Wells goes out. Second down and 8. Duggan scans the field, finds an opening for Tay Barber. His first catch of the day goes inside the 30. Leading receiver on the season for the Horned Frogs has his first catch, goes for 23 yards.
Good scheme here. You see off the play fake, Duggan steps up almost a little angle route here, a little line route by Tay Barber.
Quickly backing the ball off play action. Johnston with a strike from Duggan. First down to the 15. Getting a step on Drayshawn Miller. Boy, Duggan throwing it confidently so far.
Yes, these last 3 throws have been impressive. And getting Johnston going, getting the ball in his hands, and making a play. Good to see.
TCU continues to work quickly. He had a quick throw set up, but it was taken away by Fields. Scrambled back to close to the line of scrimmage. Fortune and Fields there on the tackle. Second down. Fields, one of the biggest reasons for West Virginia's turnaround defensively. 3-time all-conference player at Arizona. He transferred in August. I mean, you don't expect a guy to show up a couple weeks before the start of the season and then be this impactful.
And he plays everywhere. We talked about that with the defensive staff, the defensive coordinator, Jordan Leslie, co-defensive coordinator, Jamal Adai. They called him an eraser.
Leading tackler in the conference so far this season, bringing this first quarter to a close. 7-0 West Virginia. They're at 99 yards on their first drive of the day, but TCU on the move looking to answer. On to the second in Morgantown here on Big Noon Saturday. Stats, long drives, the story of this first quarter. TCU on 11 plays on its first drive had to punt. West Virginia 15 plays and scored a touchdown. And thanks to a roughing the punter penalty, TCU still moving here. Here's the 7th play. Second down and 12 from the West Virginia 16. Duggan will check it down. Barber's second catch of the drive goes for 3, and it's 3rd and 9. Tony Fields with another tackle.
Duggan's doing a nice job operating with his eyes up under a little bit of pressure. Unbalanced.
He's given time, but the coverage downfield is good, so he slides. And they'll bring out the field goal team on 4th down.
TCU, something they like to do in those tempo situations, get an unbalance, put all your wideouts on one side, along with your eligible, in this case, ineligible tight end. Try to run a pump and go on 3rd and 9. Not normally a time a defense is going to fall for that, and they don't.
There's another opportunity for the first-time long snapper, Will Houston. Antonio Ortiz did not make the trip, undisclosed reasons. And so Houston, the senior, getting his first chance. Perfect snap, hold is down, kick is through. And TCU's on the board. Taking advantage of a special teams penalty on West Virginia. The roughing the punter extends the drive. Horned Frogs get their first points, 7-3. (7-3) game after the Griffin Kell field goal. Back at Morgantown as we enter the final stretch of the Big 12 season. Final 3 games for these two teams. And a series tied 4-4 since they joined the Big 12 together in 2012. While the West Virginians won 3 of the last 4. Game last season down in Fort Worth. A game that was really defined by mistakes. Neither team cracked 300 yards of offense. There were 5 interceptions in that game. The offense is kind of having their way so far. Moving the ball with ease, at least to the middle part of the field. First few possessions. West Virginia ready to go back to work offensively, and Daigie was very efficient on that first drive. It's been a good season for him. More than 2,000 yards. He's top 10 in the country in yards. He's top 10 in completions. And playing with a lot of confidence right now. 35 of 50, 317 yards. That was his 4th consecutive 300-yard game at Texas last week. 7 of 8 on the first possession. Coming off of what the coaching staff says is probably his best week of practice in his couple years at West Virginia. Throw it on first down here. Twist up front, picked up. So time to scan the field, and then floated over the head of Sam James, who's covered by Travius Hodges-Tomlinson.
Man, great protection right there by the West Virginia offensive line. Just nothing downfield. They had everything gloved. You see those late movements by West Virginia. What they're trying to do is Gary Patterson loves to see the defense, or see the offense, see the formation, see the alignment. He's up the top of your screen right here, taking a look, signaling to the defense. There he is right there. And then this late move, he'll try to counterpunch that, but a lot of times defensive coaches, they're scared to do that late.
Letty Brown, room off the left side. He breaks into the clear. Letty Brown across midfield. Longest play of the day for the Mountaineers as Letty Brown romps for 30.
Great scheme right here. You'll see the pullers come here and Letty Brown bounce it there to the boundary. What they're trying to do is attack the perimeter there, and that same side footwork, the quarterback and the running back are on the same side of the point of attack of a run. That allows it, or that causes that defense to suck in, and Letty does a great job of bouncing it.
Ran for a season low 47 yards, battling that injury at Texas last week. He's already got 41 today, and West Virginia's got a first down at the TCU 45. Brown takes the fake this time. Daigie has all day and then dumps it off. Sam James straight ahead across the 30, first down. Took Bradford with the tackle after a gain of 17.
They'll come back to this look. They'll talk to him. My man Wright, Winston Wright, was wide open right here. Did a great job on his little stick post move and is uncovered. Good job of checking it down if you don't see it, but they'll come back to that.
Check down for 17. James cutting it up quickly. First carry of the day for Alex Sinkfield. Good vision to sneak his way through for a gain of 6.
Great vision, kind of a powerful slasher for the size of back he is.
There's a flag down here. Only had 5 yards at Texas when they really needed him with Brown banged up. But the game before that, in the upset win against Kansas State, Sinkfield had 85.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 13. It's his first of the game. 15-yard penalty. The down will count. It's second down.
That's Sam James.
And this is the second tough call on West Virginia. The roughing the kicker off, clearly a penalty and should have been called. And then this, just after the play, he's backside blocking. Neil Brown is contending, hey, he can't see what's going on. That's one of the hardest things. If you're blocking on the backside, he must have said something since it was unsportsmanlike conduct. And that is what you can't do.
So instead of second down and short inside the 25, it's back to the 38-yard line. Try to get a chunk of it back here and only get a couple. As Sinkfield took it for 2. For West Virginia, things still kind of teetering there, right? They've made big strides, but not enough where they can afford to make mistakes like that or have weeks where they go 1 for 5 in the red zone. sitting at 4-3. Really, this, though, a huge game when you look at what they have to finish. Oklahoma and then at Iowa State as they try to make a jump from that 5-7 first year under Neil Brown. Third down and a long way to go. 3rd and 17. Daggy floating one down the sideline. Pass interference coming on Hodges Tomlinson. Looking for Sean Ryan, who's becoming more and more of a favorite target for Daggy.
Yeah, Hodges Tomlinson was in great position. He's right over the top of him and just loses his patience.
Holding.
You see his
Defense,
left hand
number
holding.
10. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
His team's taking turns trading big penalties.
Yeah, right on the nameplate of Sean Ryan there. He was in great position. Just go up and play the ball. High point the ball.
Correction on the number. The foul was on number 1.
There's too much here. The back that doesn't allow Sean Ryan to jump and make any play. That's what the flag is. Merritt was in good position as well.
Fake the screen. Floating one. They've got Simmons behind the defense. He hangs on for the West Virginia touchdown. They pumped short, drew the eyes of the defense, and found Simmons for the score from 26.
It's a byproduct of running the football. Watch here the double move, and then he's gone. Pump fake. This is the same thing that TCU just ran on 3rd and 9. Much better as a 1st and 2nd down call. I thought Daggy held on to it too long and gave it too much air, but great finish by Simmons.
5th-year senior out of Birmingham, Alabama. The former Crimson Tide receiver transferred up here a few years ago. He's got his first touchdown of the year. West Virginia with touchdowns on each of its first 2 drives. That's a point from Casey Ladd. Daggy finds Simmons, pumped it short, threw it long. Simmons goes up to get it, and it's 14-3 Mountaineers. West Virginia's got it clicking offensively so far. Touchdowns on both drives. Daggy finds Simmons from 26 yards.
Yeah, this great scheme built off an RPO that they run a ton. This aggressive TCU defense triggers just over the top of Hodges Tomlinson. Darius Washington was on the scene as well. Again, that guy was wide open for a long time. And
yeah, you're cringing a little bit if you're the coach watching that, aren't you? Holding your breath. Kickoff into the end zone and a touchback. College football triple header today, continuing after this one with USC trying to build off that comeback win. They take on Arizona, then the Ducks go into Pullman to take on Washington State. What do you think? I mean, it's never easy going into the Palouse to play for your Oregon Ducks.
Into Pawtucket, it'll be beautiful this time of year, probably. It's always beautiful in the Palouse.
Oregon a legitimate playoff candidate?
Oh, no question. I think I think they're set up to run the table in the North. SC probably their biggest challenge in the South will be save the date.
We meet up in the Pac-12 championship. Here's a trick play to begin this drive with an end around to Quentin Johnston. And how about Nick Troy Fortune waiting home to drop him at the line of scrimmage?
Great vision. You said it. Nick Troy Fortune staying home, fighting through the block, trying to get a trick play. You'll see Nick Troy Fortune on your left side here, number 11, fight through the block of the big guy.
TCU scored a touchdown on a bit of a similar scheme last week, bringing Johnston in the end around. Nothing doing here. 2nd and 10. First carry for Zach Evans is shut down.
You can see they're trying to get Quentin Johnston involved. So athletic. But then that sets you up for a 2nd and long. And now a 3rd and long.
And Akeem Messidor, who's joined that veteran defensive line as a true freshman, and he's making his case for freshman of the year in the conference, leading the team with 4 sacks this year, and he's got a tackle for loss there.
Empty. West Virginia rushed 4 last time. We'll see if they do it again.
That's what they're showing. And that's what they bring. They give Duggan time. Again, coverage downfield is tight. Nowhere to go with the ball. And it's 4th down as Fields got to him.
Just a coverage sack again. Nothing open downfield. Just a little working man rush here. You get a little bit of a TE on one side. Duggan steps up. That again, there's just nothing downfield. Fields on the scene. Great eyes on the quarterback. He knows he's a run threat. Gets him on the ground.
Sandy to punt it. Sinkfield with a fair catch at the 36. That's where the West Virginia offense will have the ball. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns so far for Jared Dagey and the Mountaineers. They've got it again when you come back. Big 12 team that is still unbeaten at home this season, and it's West Virginia. 0-3 on the road after the loss at Texas last week, but 4-0. And they've been a completely different team here in Morgantown.
How do you not play well in Morgantown?
I'm with you. I'm with you, man. I mean, it's our first trip here. We've heard stories about how great this place is, and even with just 15,000 people here, still a wonderful game day atmosphere. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns for West Virginia. Dagey gets under center, hands it off to Simmons. 3rd time they've gone to this play. This time TCU was ready as Darius Washington came up to tackle him, but yet to get up. That's scary.
Yeah, he was just absolutely shot out of a cannon. Unbelievable burst to make that play at the line of scrimmage.
Take a break. Injured player for TCU is Darius Washington, sophomore out of Shreveport, Louisiana. Came up and made this play. Yeah, pretty clear.
It's great to see he's up and moving on his own feet.
Well, thank God.
Yep.
Scary.
That guy is the definition of fearless, comes up and makes an unbelievable play, and it's good to see him on his feet.
Preseason All-American, having another good year for TCU. So good to see him walking off. TCU, though, finds itself down another player in the secondary, already down 2 corners in Daniels and Stewart. Now they lose one of their all-conference safeties in Washington.
Yeah, he and Merrick definitely the tone setters back there. Merrick kind of the quarterback of the secondary, and Ardarius seems like the enforcer. As you said, all everything last year. Unbelievable player. Wore 27 last year, 24 this year. That's the worst part of the game, and great to see him up.
He's replaced by Josh Foster as they dig even a little bit deeper into this depleted secondary. We've got Nook Bradford in the game as well, 28 there in white. 2nd down for West Virginia. They'll bubble it out. Winston Wright. Trayvon Merritt, one of those safeties we're talking about, who is a potential 1st-round draft pick. Has him for a short gain.
It's just such a great job stepping up there. That's so hard to do. This bubble screen thrown out here in the middle of wide open space. There's a ton of green grass. Watch Winston Wright give him a little shimmy. Great job coming to balance there by Trayvon Merritt. Key tackle set up at 3rd and 11 plus.
That's a short gain. Actually lost a yard. This is a big defensive possession for TCU in this game.
It is, and it starts out with one of your leaders getting dinged. It's great to see Merrick answer, kind of lead the charge.
3rd down and 11. They rush only 3, so Dagey's got all day. Delivers, and it's broken up by Hodges Tomlinson.
Oh, my. That hit him right on the 1. It's interesting to watch Hodges. They're moving Hodges Tomlinson and Caesar to both sides. He plays this great. This one's got to be going the other way. Oh, boy.
Ooh.
Sam James needs to become a little bit more of a defender there, but just Tomlinson just couldn't make that play.
By the way, you see Trayvon Merrick back to return. Darius Davis and street close. Mentioned yesterday, under the weather, came into the day questionable, will not play, and that would be interference on the coverage team.
Gosh.
It's another bad penalty. There have been a bunch of them in this first half. A couple of them on West Virginia on special teams.
Yeah, you got them relatively pinned, start at the 25, and just makes it that much easier.
Kick interference, kicking team number 14, 15-yard penalty. It's first down, TCU.
No doubt about it. You just got to have an awareness here of what's the punt returner doing, when's the ball arriving. Very rarely do you send that first guy kind of across the bow of the returner. That's usually not his job.
It's about as clear as you're going to find it. And so while that was a big defensive possession for TCU, this becomes a big offensive possession. They've moved the ball, but only 3 points to show for it.
Yeah, I like the scheme. Both of these offenses have schemed each other well. One just making more plays in the passing game. We'll see if TCU can uncork something. The surprise so far to me is TCU has protected relatively well.
There's not been anything there. Nobody open downfield. Handed off to Tay Barber, trying to get something along the edges of the defense, and they do, with Fields making the tackle. TCU this season, Coach, when they run for 200 or more yards is 3-0. When they fail to reach 200 yards, they're 0-3. And so far today, just 23 yards on the ground.
That's why you see, both of their attacks are similar, right? A lot of those perimeter edge runs, edge plays. They got to get that going because they know that stat. It sets up so much else.
Second down and short, handed off to Barlow, who's got room for a first down, and another tackle from the Big 12's leader in Tony Fields. But Barlow's kind of stepped forward from a crowded running back group. Redshirt freshman from Newton, Texas. Got a lot bigger, a lot stronger this offseason. He can fly and has shown some great flashes. Could in a career best 117 against Baylor 2 games ago. In West Virginia territory now, it's Barlow again. And it's Fields again. I mean, I just need, the easy button. How about a Fields button? I'll just hit it every time there's a tackle. It's probably him. Yeah,
it's just a great job. Their front cancels gaps. He runs over the top and gets guys on the ground. That's a tougher thing than it seems. A one-on-one tackle inside that pit.
12 tackles against Texas last week. He had 15 the last time they played here against Kansas State. 2nd and 7. Duggan off play action. We'll throw it away. A little bit of a miscommunication there. Fake to nobody.
And who hit him?
I looked away, but I'm just going to guess. It's Fields.
Rod Fields on a little inside charge, ripped through the center, and does a great job of staying clean on Duggan. Just sending a message there, just letting you know, hey, I coulda.
I'm here.
I coulda.
Don't forget.
This is another possible 4-down territory. Well, maybe not here. 45. I would think Gary Patterson would punt if they don't get this. Another empty look. West Virginia has been playing man coverage behind this, man free. Everybody manned up, and then a single safety over the top.
They bring 4 again. Duggan throws high, 4th down. Drayshawn Miller with the coverage.
They changed it up that time and just played straight zone. 3 deep zone. And nothing doing in this second. They're doing a great job of blowing these routes.
Again, we mentioned about 8 of the last 9 games, West Virginia's secondary has held the opposition to less than 200 yards passing. Top 10 in the country in pass defense. That's 1 year after they were 88th. There's huge improvements across the board for that group. Fair catch from Sinkfield at the 8. We've got a huge Fox NFL doubleheader tomorrow. Tom Brady and the Bucs taking on the Panthers, and then an America's Game of the Week, Russell Wilson and the Seahawks against Jared Goff and the Rams, or other regional action. You can check your local listings for the games in your area. 14-3 West Virginia. Efficient start to this game for Dagey. 10 of 13 for 117 and a touchdown, which is great improvement over what he saw numbers-wise against TCU last year. Threw for just 158 and was picked 3 times.
He just has a different air about him right now, playing with confidence, playing in rhythm.
So short roll, in rhythm again. He's got Ryan, already his third catch. Hodges Tomlinson the tackle, second and short.
Kind of picking on Hodges Tomlinson. Could have made up for it with intercepting that ball we saw, but the double move was against him. He is an aggressive player. C.J. Caesar, 16, is the guy who gave up the big plays last week, and they haven't really attacked him to this point.
But it's surprising. If you had to guess who they'd go after, it would be the...
Sean Ryan, watch your ball security on that last one, too.
It would be Caesar, just his second star. His movement from Brandon Yates, left tackle.
Ball start, offense, number 50, 5-yard penalty. It's second down.
Got a bunch of the subs in there for TCU. Colt Ellison causing the Brandon Yates jump there.
Charted the 6th penalty of the day on West Virginia. Makes his 2nd and 9. Pressure coming. Picked up. Dagey goes underneath. Incomplete. Hodges Tomlinson again. And boy, has he been a busy guy. Coverage on Bryce Ford Wheaton, 3rd and 9.
Yeah, it was good coverage, just late. Just a count late. You watch him come out of the route up the top, just basically a little 5-yard in. He should keep coming and stay flat, but the ball's just late.
I mean, you mentioned it. Even the touchdown throw to Simmons was a touch late. A late recovery from TCU, and he got away with it. 11 of 15 now, 3rd and 9. Brown comes into the backfield. TCU brings 4 on a draw play. Brown steps out of a tackle, a first down and more. On 3rd and 9, Letty Brown runs to the 29-yard line and a gain of 19.
Showing a deep zone action. A great answer for that is a draw play. They're expecting pass right in the situation, the down and distance. Letty Brown, great job with his vertical vision. Merrick, another great, strong tackle to prevent a home run.
It's another big play allowed by this TCU defense, which normally Gary Patterson's defenses don't allow. An alarmingly high rate this year. Fresh set of downs from the 28. Brown again. With patient running to let that hole develop and get 5.
That feels like a 10-yard run against this defense and the history of West Virginia's rush game the last 2 years. But this fan base and that team to rip off a nice 5-yard gainer in that formation is big for them. 73
yards a game last year rushing for West Virginia. That was 128th nationally. They've doubled that this season. Completely different in the wins versus the losses, by the way. More than 200 a game in the wins, below 100 in the losses. Nothing doing here as Nook Bradford brings him down, and it'll be 3rd down again. Waller was there as well. 3rd and about 5.
Great scheme there, getting the nickel in this situation. Nook Bradford playing the nickel, kind of the adjuster linebacker position, and brought him off the edge because Gary Patterson wasn't happy with that 5-yard gash on 1st down.
3rd and officially 4. Closing minutes of this very quick-moving first half. Gary Patterson burns more calories a game than any coach in America, I swear.
Possible quarterback draw. They like that out of this action.
With 4 receivers to the top side, and they will use their first timeout of the half. 4:07 left to go in a 14-3 game. The improvement of the running game, already 200 yards more than they had all last season.
Yeah, that's amazing. Neil Brown had the great quote that made the rounds here. We have to run the ball. And 200 more yards in 5 less games is a great start.
We'll see if they go to it here or if they throw on 3rd and 4. A little bit different look. Trips to the left instead of 4 receivers. Pressure coming. Ryan's got it, and they beat it. Big first half for Sean Ryan, getting the reception for a gain of 5 against Josh Foster.
It's a little slant here against Foster, working against him. Both receivers jumped there. I'm surprised they didn't call that. But one of the receivers up top and Sean Ryan both jumped. But a great job of getting the necessary yardage. And good job hauling in by Sean Ryan.
West Virginia 1 week after going 6 for 16 on 3rd down, 6 for 7. Brown gets run down from behind by D. Winters. And some scuffling after the play. Oh, my goodness, that's got to draw a penalty, doesn't it? C.J. Caesar just from behind took Sean Ryan down, but no flags.
Yeah, Sean Ryan working his tail off on the backside of the run. This is what the personal foul was earlier, the unsportsmanlike conduct. He was just finishing until he heard the whistle.
I think he needs to get his hearing checked because the whistle happened a long time ago. See, this is all fine, right? Okay. All right, good. Just wait for it, though. This part, wait for it. Wait for it. Isn't that a little excessive?
That was the latest action, and that's the one that usually gets called. And that's what Neil Brown's talking to him now. Hey, man, you call that on us.
I guess both guys guilty of being a little excessive there. So, no flags. 2:43 to go. Crowd continues to not like the lack of a call there. Let's check in with Rob Stone.
With the USC Notre Dame conversation coming up on the State Farm halftime. Number 9, Miami having issues. Number 10, Indiana, they aren't. And we're going to look ahead to 20th ranked USC at Arizona. Coach, we'll see you guys in a couple of minutes.
Did they say, okay, the guys with the checkers are going to sit over here. The guys with the solid colored jackets are going to sit over there. Go.
Good-looking crew, man. It's a good-looking crew.
Brady's got a new hair product he's rocking. I don't know if you noticed. Looks pretty good.
Shockingly, I am not in the hair product business. That might surprise you, but yeah, so I don't know. Great move here by Gary Patterson. I was looking for these as an offensive guy. I would have attacked C.J. Caesar with a double move or something right there. He's out of the game right now. So one new corner in addition to Hodges Tomlinson.
On 2nd and 9, and they look in that direction. Winston Wright close to a first down. Spot him a little bit short. Tackle made by Josh Foster. It'll be 3rd and a long 1.
Again, good ball placement. That was better timing on the RPO. Kind of natural for Jared Dagey. The run-pass option, he's basically riding and deciding where to go with the ball as he does that. Good spot, set up 3rd and 1. Do they pound the ball again here to send a message or take a shot?
Whatever they've done on 3rd down has worked today. They've heard it on all but one 3rd down opportunity. They will pound away. And Brown is not going to get it. Garrett Wallow was there first. And then Dylan Horton finished him off.
And great job by Wallow fighting over the top. Look at all that space. Garrett Wallow fills it up. Great job wrapping up Letty Brown.
So 4th down, less than a yard. And if you've watched any West Virginia football, you won't be surprised to see the offense staying out there. 4th most 4th down attempts among Power 5 programs. Run that clock down, minute 36.
Might be working it down here. Neil Brown saying, hey, we're up 14-3. We'll think about this for a second. Use our timeout if we're going to go for it. If we aren't, take a delay and kick it.
Now, they went for it a few times on 4th down last week. That was another big part of the story. They went 0 for 3, and they said, yeah, they liked the play call they had here. This ball should have been caught by the tight end Mike O'Loughlin. He dropped it. Another 4th down try here where it was a pass run option, and their philosophy on the whole thing kind of changed, not having Letty Brown full strength where they didn't feel like they could pound away.
Exactly, and you saw that on that 3rd one right there. Letty Brown one-on-one in a big old space. I'm putting my chips in on Letty Brown.
And they do decide to punt it. Tyler Sumter sends it away to Trayvon Merrick. Fair catch at the 17-yard line. 1:20 and 3 timeouts for the Horned Frogs. You got to look to try and get something, especially considering West Virginia has the ball coming out of the break.
Exactly, and that's why Neil Brown does that right there. Hey, don't give him any extra momentum. Don't give him an extra possession. Let's kick it down here. Trust our defense. They might use their timeout if TCU allows it and get a cheap one, but they're obviously work toward the second half.
Only 100 yards of offense in this first half for TCU. West Virginia's defense doing it again.
And it's been the secondary, man, up the front. I've been very impressed with how they've protected, but this is prime time for the pass rush if they're going to give them any chance and create some field position for West Virginia.
After Duggan threw for just 73 yards last week, he's got only 69 this week. It's a jet sweep to Amari DiMercato. DiMercato crashes forward with a flag down.
Yeah, looked like they're going to get a hold on the perimeter here on the fly sweep. It's hard for those perimeter guys. You got to give them some landmarks, give them some knowledge of both where you are supposed to be and where that runner's going to end up.
Offense number 81. Half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. It's first down.
It's on Pro Wells.
Pro Wells, he doesn't like it. Obviously, here he is right here. Just got to get his hands inside. Got to get your hands inside those numbers. As soon as that's out there, anything that looks like it's going to prevent that defender from making the play, they're flagging.
So much easier for the officials to see out there, too.
It is,
when it's in the muck.
And Pro Wells is a giant dude.
Yeah, ain't going to miss it. First and 17. It's a high throw for a crossing DeMercado, and a good tackle by Sean Mahone, who was their leading tackler last year. Not quite as productive in terms of tackles this year, but having another really good year.
Nice job. This is an interesting situation there for Neil Brown. Accepting that penalty gives probably not going to allow them any chance to get the ball back here.
Inside a minute, 2nd and 12. DeMercado coming around the left side. Got a good block this time from Wells to the 24. 34 seconds. And it is kind of that in-between range. Do you call a timeout, hope you can stop them, come after a punt, but they're going to let them play on.
Yeah, when it's... See what TCU does here. You're exactly right. They've loved this condensed formation.
It's another sweet play. This time Tate Barber gets away from Fields, gets a first down, but only 8 seconds left in this half. Tyke Smith the tackle. Coming up in just a moment, Rob Stone and the guys will have the State Farm halftime show. And a little bit chippy first half, hasn't it? Gary Patterson saying, get over there before we pick up another one of those post-play penalties. We've seen both teams deal with a little bit of that today. That'll bring this first half to a close. They do get the snap off, hand it off to Evans. And after a half here in Morgantown, West Virginia with a 14-3 lead as they continue to play it right until the horns, pushing and some shoving. These two teams playing a big game in their seasons today, both sitting right around 500. Let's get you out to Rob Stone and the guys in Los Angeles for the State Farm to move to 5-0 this season here in their home stadium. Joe Davis and Mark Helfrich, and we talked about it off of the top. Defense has defined their best games this season, and that defense was exceptional in the first half.
Yeah, West Virginia has been outstanding on the back end. TCU's got to figure out something route-wise. It stacks its bunches, its movements, but they got to get something going.
We got to get some tape for your headset or something. That thing keeps falling off. Thing's pesky. No, that's not that. Time for our second half connection, brought to you by AT&T Business, keeping your business connected now with 5G nationwide. Their first drive of the game, a 99-yard drive and a touchdown as they snuck it in. What are you drawing up here?
Well, this is just set up by their ability to run the ball, the play action fake off of the run pass option they run so many times, the double move on Hodges Tomlinson, TJ Simmons finishing the deal for the touchdown. Daggy has been on time in rhythm, and the biggest reason for that, I think, 91 rush yards against TCU. That's a huge deal because that sets up everything else. The other stat that you're loving if you're Neil Brown is 75% third down conversions.
As West Virginia has a chance to match last year's win total. They went 5-7 in the first year under Neil Brown. They sit at 4-3 here. They've got a tough finish coming. Oklahoma and at Iowa State. TCU will try to come from behind to get its third consecutive win after the 1-3 start. And West Virginia having some fun getting the ball to begin this second half. Griffin Kell sends it away. Over the head of Winston Wright. Very efficient first half for Jared Dagey. 13 of 17. 136 yards and a touchdown. So he's within reach of a fifth consecutive 300-yard game, although that at this point not what West Virginia is most concerned about. They're just hoping to get to 5-3 however they need to.
And but they have to stay aggressive. And again, how TCU is built, and you saw it towards the end of that second quarter. Gary Patterson, as soon as he gave up a couple runs, no more. So he's got to be aggressive, stay aggressive in the game plan with what they've done, and attack the edges.
Fake to Letty Brown in the first play of the half. Mike O'Loughlin, his first catch in a couple weeks. Short gain, tackled by Trayvon Merrick. Are you surprised that West Virginia's not taken as many shots downfield as they have after talking to the staff?
Yeah, well, they're trying. They're trying. A lot of those corner routes that we saw in the first half, the 10 to 12-yard out routes, are built off of a vertical route on the outside. So they're trying to take those shots. As you see TCU line up, there's one-on-one coverage pretty much all day long against this defense. You just have to take your shots. And like you said, there's time of possession considerations here in the second half.
Work out of an empty set on second down. Daggy has had all day to throw today against a defensive line that's been very disruptive in recent weeks. Winston Wright cut down by C.J. Caesar. And a 3rd down and 2 coming here. There were 10 sacks over the last 2 games for TCU. Daggy's hardly been touched.
I've been really impressed by their protection, and D. Winters did a great job rallying there. He had the route covered there initially, and as you said, he had long enough he basically ran 2 option routes.
Yeah.
He was waiting on him, and he broke free.
You mentioned 3rd down being key. There was 6 for 8 on 3rd down in that first half. Bunch everybody tight into the formation. And hand it to Letty Brown. His first carry of the second half is a big one. There goes Letty Brown down the sideline into TCU territory. 33 yards, longest run of the day. He's got 99 total.
You'll see the action come here. Letty Brown in the box. Couldn't beat that tackle last time. He does this time. And as you said, a huge opening run and a huge opening 3rd down for both teams for the second half.
So to the TCU 33. Fake to Brown. Daggy off play action. This time gets moved off his spot by Cooper. Resets the feed and heaves for Ford Wheaton. Broken up by Hodges Tomlinson. 2nd and 10.
Again, attacking Hodges Tomlinson, 6'3", 218 against 5'9", 177. It turns into a double move. It wasn't designed. He saw Daggy break contain, went for it all, and man, he'd like to have that one back. Good job battling by Hodges Tomlinson to get his right arm in there and make a difference.
Hyphen on hyphen.
Hyphen on. A lot of names.
Yeah.
A lot of names. It's good to see Hodges Tomlinson bounce back.
Here's Brown. Jared Wallow leading the way for TCU again. He's got 7 tackles, and it's another 3rd down.
Yeah, and that's how it's been, right? Been kind of grinder drives, long, sustained drives. Those conventional, if you will, run plays against TCU not having a ton of success. Got to be a little creative here.
It's 3rd and 8. Finally saw TCU get a little bit of pressure on the most recent pass play. Let's see if they can dial something up here. Not showing any pressure. They bring just 4. Daggy flush to his right. It's a crossing O'Loughlin. Breaks a tackle and gets a 1st down.
Nice reaction by Daggy. You see the pocket just kind of wads up, and he does a great job staying on the move again with his eyes up. Throws it right to the 7 of O'Loughlin, a perfect spot, allows him to turn and convert.
The former high school receiver has put on 50 pounds since arriving in West Virginia. Got off to a great start this season before struggling some against Texas last week. Opening drive of the second half. West Virginia's got it 1st down at the 21-yard line. Here's Brown. Surges forward, stopped by Van Zandt, but he gets 8. Letty Brown, a completely different story. Looks fully healthy after he ran for an injury-riddled 47 yards. Last week, he's over 100 already today.
That last play was a little change up from their scheme, and they've done a nice job here with a couple creative plays in the second half. TCU just had a wholesale substitution of the front, trying to get a fresh pass rush.
Fresh guys in there to stop Brown, who's now got 8 yards per carry today. He's got it again here. Sticks the shoulder down, finds Garrett Wallow waiting for him, but he does get enough 1st down to the 10.
Great job here by Letty Brown. They hit him on the inside zone, hit him on a power play. This is more of an outside zone, a mid-zone play. Look at the pipes coming through there, eyes up, running through Wallow. running through Terrell Cooper. Those are big-time defenders fighting his way for a first down.
Coming off of the field.
Just inside the 10 there, right?
Yeah. Yep.
First and goal.
First and goal. The Brown out, Sinkfield in. After they went 1 for 5 on red zone trips last week, they're 2 for 2 today, and a penalty on the left side of the line. Second time today, Yates has been moving early.
Yeah, that might have been a miscommunication. We had O'Loughlin moving too.
Offense number 54, 5-yard penalty. It's first down.
And Frazier apparently.
Yeah. That's when you look at the center and go, hey. That's usually what happens.
It's one of the only blemishes on this game for the Mountaineers. That is their 7th penalty.
Yeah, 6 for 60 in the first half, and they were all pivotal.
Sinkfield, met at the line of scrimmage by Terrell Cooper. He's having a really nice year. Junior out of Lindale, Texas. Despite some injuries they've had inside, he's been one of the standouts. And second and goal back at the 16.
Yeah, you said it. He's been dinged up too, and just a tough dude. It's fun to watch him and Sonny Misi eat up blockers, let Wallow and Winters run around. They do a great job of being unselfish in their pass rush games too, setting up Mathis and Kari Coleman.
Second and goal from the 16. Diggy with a straight drop. Again, well protected. He steps up with good coverage. That is a coverage sack for TCU. Mathis got there with Workman, and it's third and goal at the 17.
Line game inside. Again, pretty good initial protection. We'll see what Ford Wheaton has for Caesar. Nothing. Right side of it, 4 over 3. See 4 defenders over 3 receivers. Nothing. Good reaction by Diggy. The only thing he probably could have done better is throw it through the goalpost.
Said he lost a couple. Now the penalty started a little trickle down here that has West Virginia in a tough spot. Third and goal back at the 17-yard line. Delay for Brown, who's stopped by Coleman, and the freshman just keeps coming on.
Yeah, just smokes Brandon Yates. Brandon Yates is one of the toughest things is a draw set. Here's the matchup right here. On that draw set, you've got to bring him upfield a little bit more, draw the rush up, and let Letty Brown work underneath. Kari Coleman says, I'm too athletic for you.
Now this is a win for the TCU defense.
Absolutely.
Field goal attempt. It would still be a 2-possession game. In a game where possessions have been at a minimum. Casey Legg has taken over the kicking duties for Evan Staley. There's a flag down. And judging by the body language, that's going to be another one on West Virginia.
Ball start, offense number 50, 5-yard penalty. It's fourth down.
So for Legg, this will now be a 42-yarder. He's perfect since taking over for Staley in all 4 of his attempts. And he does in his career have a 51-yarder, so this is well within his range. Opening drive of the second half for the Mountaineers. It is right through. Just sneaking inside the upright. And the aptly named Casey Legg stays perfect in 2020. 5 for 5. West Virginia points on its first drive of the second half. Celebrated Military Appreciation Day here in Morgantown.
Some great shots.
Some great moves.
Joe Davis going to get the dance cam up here. He was just getting after it during the break.
It ain't pretty.
It's impressive.
Well, 3 points, and it keeps it a 2-possession game. So TCU's defense bends, but ultimately limits it to a field goal. 17-3 midway through this third quarter. The theme of this game has been long drives, and so TCU just now going to touch it for the first time in this half. Savion Williams on the return. And setting up pretty good field position for the Horned Frogs, who hopped on a plane for the first time this season. They've been exclusively in Texas so far. Bunch of home games and then a couple road games within the state of Texas. They are 3-0 against teams from Texas this year, 0-3 otherwise, and now Hopping on a plane, flying to Morgantown. This is somewhat of a theme the last few seasons. Outside the state of Texas over the last 2+ years, they're just 1-6. That lone win, non-conference play, West Lafayette against Purdue last year.
That is an amazing stat with how good they've been. And defense travels, as they say.
Duggan pressured on the first play of this drive. He throws across his body and finds Tay Barber for a gain of 14. TCU's offense in the first half just 123 yards. How do you get it cranked up?
Well, that was a great throw and catch to start off, and really the first immediate pressure they've had on Duggan as they're going with tempo.
They're going to look to throw it again off play action, and heaving one. He wants Barber again. Incomplete with a coverage from Adai. When their tempo's keeping you from giving us a game plan for how to get him going.
Well, Adai was in great position there on Barber. Look at that, 4-on-4, hip to hip. Great defense. And then to answer your question, they got to create some separation. That's been the story all day long. That first throw to Barber was the first time anyone has been open since Pro Wells on that first third down. That can be done a bunch of ways, whether it's, stacks, bunches, motions, crossing routes, but it got to create some separation.
Bring Johnston in motion. And they run Duggan, who's got just 9 yards rushing so far. Able to get the corner here for a first down, and he might get more. And no flag is thrown. Hit was borderline. Too late, out of bounds, but no flag. First down, and a run of 13.
Yeah, predetermined run all the way for Duggan. He does a nice job getting everything he can get and then trying to draw the penalty there. That was close by Adai, but he certainly pulls up.
Savvy little move, right?
Absolutely.
That side step out of bounds.
Slow down. Yep. Quentin Johnston did a nice job there on the perimeter blocking as well.
By far the longest run of the day for Duggan. Hands it off to Kendre Miller. Good movement from the offensive line this time. That depleted offensive line. And Miller keeps it rolling. He's got a first down.
Yeah, that was separation by alignment there by West Virginia. A couple open gaps there on the backside. TCU does a good job of exploiting it here. Again, they're trying to go fast.
Again, with an offensive line down 3 starters. They lost Austin Myers this week. They've been their most consistent guy. Carter Ware, his second catch of the year, and a gain of 7.
Great rhythm. Again, just a nice little rhythm throw against zone coverage. Little stick route, day one install for all offenses in football.
Kendre Miller, big hole again, first down. Kendre Miller still going to the 6. And the Horned Frogs have it first and goal. The most rhythm this offense has had all day.
And it's coming off the run game, the inside zone run game. He does see a nice job of those guys getting to the second level on the linebacker. Carter Ware looking for somebody to block.
Right back on the ball. Handed off to Miller again. This time he's shut down by Dante Stills.
Closest guy to the ball says, hey, I've seen enough here. Let's set these guys back a little bit. Right over the center. Little separation, throw and go, and a great job getting Kendre Miller on the ground.
Coming into the year, that is the group that everybody knew was going to be good from West Virginia, bringing back all 3 starters on the D-line. Stills with a stop there, so second and goal for TCU.
Unbalanced formation, all the receivers eligible up top.
And they add one with Miller motion in there. He takes it in the swing and stumbles, losing 4.
TCU likes to do this, and both of these teams like to do this, motion out and create a quarterback draw or throw situation. They have numbers. He sees grass, and he is down. Tackled by the 14-yard line.
That'll get you. Similar story for both these teams on opening drive of the second half. Move it inside the 10, and then they go backwards.
Showing a 3-deep zone. You see that single safety in the middle of the field.
5 to choose from for Duggan, and blown coverage and a blown throw. Tay Barber was cut loose, but then Duggan throws it way out of the end zone.
Yeah, the corner, Drayshawn Miller. Watch him. Eyes, trigger. He's supposed to be the third defender. That means you're deep 1/3 back there, and Duggan. That's one of those, you can't explain it. The uncovered guy strikes again.
TCU has to settle for a field goal attempt from Griffin Kell. Got him their only point so far today. He adds 3 here, 17-6. And Duggan and the Horned Frogs, there is a flag that flies here, by the way. Hold on, a flag flies at the end of the play. As Max Duggan marches the offense down the field, the drive ultimately stalls out inside the 10. They settle for the field goal.
That's one of those ones as a quarterback, and I always told the quarterbacks, hey, man, you have to anticipate what you think's going to happen, anticipate, but confirm, because sometimes they don't do their job. And that's one right there. He goes, hey, the corners, they're playing 3-deep zone. That guy's going to back up and cover it. I better get,
After the play was over, there were unsportsmanlike conduct fouls by both teams. 74 offense, 99 of the defense, both players. First of the game, the foul is offset. Result of the play, successful field goal, timeout on the field.
Stays chippy midway through this third quarter. Duggan knows that was a missed opportunity.
Want more stats? Just ask Siri, who leads college football in passing yards.
17-6 game. Any guesses, by the way? Who leads college football in passing yards?
Joe Davis.
I don't think that's right. Nope, I confirm. Check with stats man Barry Allen. He is not leading college football in passing yards. But I bet Siri knows. Another long drive, but ends in a field goal. It remains a 2-possession game.
And that's the key. If you're TCU, you did give up a long foul ball, right? A long foul ball, but it's still a 2-score game.
West Virginia ready to get it back. The dangerous Winston Wright, who took one back last year, has room here. Winston Wright lost his footing a little bit and is down at the 36. Touchdown saving tackle on special teams for Josh Foster. One of the best returns of the year for the sophomore from Pooler, Georgia. West Virginia on offense after this. The official drink of Fansville. 25% capacity in here today. Perfect November football weather.
It is so nice, yeah. I mean, it's what, 50, no wind. Another perfect day in Morgantown.
17-6 game, 4:41 left to go, third quarter. Pulled it out, whip it outside to Simmons, who broke a tackle and has a first down. Had a chance to be blown up for a loss, but instead 11 yards for T.J. Simmons.
Yeah, man, Coach Patterson's great setup. They brought Wallow off the edge, but T.J. Simmons says, hey, Van Zandt, I'm going to break that tackle, run around my own guy, and a huge gain off of nothing.
That's where you as a coach, right?
Players, baby, players.
Have him right in the right spot. Van Zandt can't bring him down, though. And Simmons, who's got a touchdown today, has 11 yards there. It's first down at the 49. Play action and wide open out the back door, but he was looking in the other direction. He had T.J. Banks running free, but got moved off his spot and never saw him.
Wow, that's the second time you saw with that motion. Again, they're trying to communicate before they shift and then after they shift, and that's what happens. That's why defensive coordinators usually don't do that late communication. That's the second time they're uncovered. Lucky for them, nobody knows about that. It's a film session.
That's how you just told him. Second down from the 49. Here's Brown for 2, and it's 3rd and 8.
C.J. Caesar off the edge. Coach Patterson starting to heat things up. Every one of these plays in this drive thus far, they've brought somebody off the edge. That time it's the corner, setting up a long 3rd down.
Well, they hadn't really had to the last couple weeks, getting all the pressure with the front 4.
No, and you can just see his reaction. Hey, we just gave up a chunk. I got to end that part of it and make Daggy beat me on the outside.
5 sacks each of the last 2 games, only 1 today. Play action on 3rd down, throwing down the sideline, and Caesar with really good coverage. You can watch this sophomore out of Monroe, Louisiana grow with each game.
Yeah, back-to-back great plays. There's the one-on-one matchup with Ford Wheaton. Best on best right now as you look at it. Ford Wheaton want to save a little room to that sideline. and that's Gary Patterson's defense in a nutshell. You're not going to hit enough of those shots to beat me. Thus far, West Virginia's done enough. This is where TCU last week, 2 blocked punts, huge field position shifts, momentum plays. See if they can get something going here.
2 last week, 3 in the last 2 weeks combined. They set up a return here on a line drive punt from Sumter that takes a West Virginia bounce inside the 5 and down to the 1. Well, Masters weekend dropped it right by the hole, didn't he? We've seen both punters used for West Virginia this season. Sumter and McKee.
Knockdown? Is that a stinger? What is that?
Whatever it is, it's perfect. In honor of Veterans Day, Fox Sports proudly salutes those who serve our country. That's why Fox Sports is working with U.S. Vets, the nation's largest nonprofit provider of comprehensive services to homeless and at-risk veterans, to ensure food stability for veterans through the holiday season. USVetsInc.org to learn more. TCU backed up at its own 1 after the Sumter punt. Duggan looks to throw. Wants it all. Launching down the sideline, incomplete. Pass interference coming on Miller. As Quentin Johnston tried to work back to the ball, Miller wouldn't let him. And there's the breathing room Gary Patterson's team was looking for.
Yeah, it's smart to take a shot. Again, Drayshawn Miller in excellent position. Just come back with that left arm. Probably both hands in that position is too much.
Pass interference, defense, number 5, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Quentin Johnston really got away with not selling that. Could have planted and come back and got it. Made it a little bit more obvious.
Well, Coach, we saw West Virginia on its first drive of the day start in that same exact spot, same end of the field at the 1-yard line. 99 yards later, they had the first touchdown of the game. Can TCU do the same? Down 11 with a few minutes left here in the 3rd. Duggan to the outside, Johnston, too hot to handle.
He had a couple of these last week that you could see him patting his chest saying, my bad, but they just haven't quite gotten the rhythm, those two. They had a hitch route that looked like they were kind of off communication-wise, and that was a good spot, maybe a sun ball there that Johnston couldn't handle.
Been a continuation of the struggles through the air from last week. Duggan 11 of 21, just 90 yards. Duggan keeps it this time and gets a couple. Extra low the tackle. 3rd down.
Yeah, this feels like a huge play. This is a must-score drive for TCU. You'd love to move the ball a little bit here to give yourself some room to not punt from the shadow of your own goalpost. But this is a tough ask against this defense.
Just 3 for 9 on 3rd down today. 3rd and 7, TCU. Strong throw to Blair Conwright, first down. Conwright's 3rd catch of the day, working against Nick Troy Fortune.
Great spot, just a vertical stem pushing beyond the first down yardage by about 3 yards and then coming back down the line to make a play. Great throw by Max Duggan.
Good time for
On
it.
time and in rhythm.
West Virginia loads up the box here on 1st down. They're going to try and run it against it. Miller to the outside. Kendre Miller has a 1st down. The true freshman continues to show off for TCU. He's the guy the staff loves, and you can see some of the reasons why.
Yeah, physical, and you can see it start out. They're counting on Tony Fields, the second to run on the top of that, and he trucks his own guy.
All right, in the back of Blair Conwright.
He goes, I'm trying to help you, dog.
Yeah. Now again, TCU has not won a game this season in which it ran for less than 200 yards. They did hardly anything running the ball in the first half, but close to 10 yards per carry since halftime.
Already eclipsed it in 6 carries.
First down from the 41. Back in the hands of Kendre Miller. And even when it doesn't look like there's much there, Miller's finding a way to get something.
Yeah, you can see how square and powerful this kid runs the ball. His own guy found out on the last one, Conright. That time a couple defenders. See West Virginia right now, they're trying to hold a two safety shell. If you see any kind of wide shot, there's two high safeties. These two guys on the hashes essentially, and then they're going to spin down on the snap. That safety's got to make the play.
And he does. It's Mahone. Ante Barber. Third down coming up.
That's just so hard to do. Kendry Miller on the last couple broke through it. Full layout, heel clicker.
Closing seconds of this third quarter. 3rd and 6 for TCU. They swing Barlow out. Duggan steps up out of a tight pocket, throws incomplete. Savion Williams, the intended receiver, with the coverage for Miller, and it's 4th down.
That's got to be on both ends of it. Bring the ball down and keep coming back to that. Take one more step back to the ball, but it was too high. And a great stop by West Virginia.
And this West Virginia defense continues to be exceptional. Even in the loss last week against Texas, that's top offense in the Big 12. Held them to 17.
Yeah, they played well enough to win all day long.
Holding TCU just 2 field goals thus far. Line drive punt, Sinkfield up to catch it. A fair catch at the 20. Time now for our Moments of Protection, brought to you by Allstate. Get better protected with Allstate. You've never been in better hands. And against a defense that had 10 sacks over the last 2 games, Dagey has been well protected today.
Yeah, that's the story of the day for me, is just the ability of him to hit the top of his drop and get the ball out. And when he's been in rhythm, that's been the result. Efficiency, touchdown to TJ Simmons. This was the time the option route got ate up, but there was enough protection where he won the second part of the route. Impressive day so far for Dagey.
Start this drive on the ground. Sinkfield to the outside and crashes into Nook Bradford. To bring this third quarter to a close with West Virginia in front 17-6. A chance today to match last year's win total. And a chance to move to 5-0 in Morgantown. We've got the fourth quarter coming up by AT&T Business as we move on to the fourth quarter in Morgantown. A 17-6 lead for West Virginia. They've got the ball 2nd and 5 at their own 25. Something we've seen all day. A lot of pre-snap movement, trying to make things tough on Gary Patterson, who tries to send those calls in at the last moment. On the out, it's Winston Wright. 1st down, West Virginia, with a tackle from LaKendrick Van Zandt.
That's been the theme of the day from West Virginia. A vertical route on the outside, and then Wright Jr. on a flat route, a 5-yard-ish depth, a 10-yard out, or a corner route, and they've worn it out.
Oh, it's starting to get to that point where you feel like TCU's desperate for a takeaway.
Yeah, something has to happen here. Offensively, they're just not clicking today for whatever reason. You got to give West Virginia's defense a ton of credit, but it's got to be a takeaway, a special teams play, something explosive.
5 turnovers, 2 teams combined last year. None in this game as Kari Coleman stops Letty Brown at the line of scrimmage.
Really impressive to see C.J. Caesar in the mix there, coming off the edge. They're adding him to the fit of this run game. Kari Coleman running loose in there, but that play was made by C.J. Caesar coming off the edge. Takes some courage for that guy 165 to join the fray.
Especially with those little kid shoulder pads. They're like the smallest shoulder pads I've ever seen.
Sears catalog.
Yeah, right. Little tykes. Dagey again has all day to throw. That is tossed at the last moment. Is that going to be intentional grounding? They had Winston Wright in the general vicinity, but you could make an argument the other way.
Yeah, I thought they would give that with Winston Wright. The post comes open late, but everything underneath covered. See on the backside, see my man Caesar.
Intentional grounding, offense. Number 2 was in the pocket, threw the ball into an area with no eligible receiver. Penalty is loss of down at the spot of the pass.
And Mathis. They do call the intentional grounding on Dagey and moves it way back. It is a loss of down as well. 3rd and, let's see, about 20.
Yeah, the spot of the throw.
Officially going to call it 3rd and 21. It's Brown. And the punt team will come out.
Just trying to punch against that front and get a little field position switch.
Boy, these guys they're not liking each other too much, are they? We saw Mathis and Moore both getting after each other at the end of the play. And the officials doing a good job of keeping things under control.
They did, yeah. High intensity situation there. Mathis trying to get to the QB, create that explosive play we were just talking about. Get him off the field. Maybe it's right here they could create another block punt, but he's got to be smart with it.
Merrick back to return again. They're without Darius Davis today, who's been one of the top returners in the country since taking over. Davis under the weather, was questionable coming in and street clothes.
First time out of the half called by TCU.
TCU having to use a timeout here.
That is not where you want to take that when you're going to need those later down.
Down by a couple scores, 13 left. College football tripleheader continues after our game with USC taking on Arizona, and then Oregon and Washington State at 7 Eastern, all right here on Fox and the Fox Sports app with the Pac-12 cranked up. How about the maneuvering to get a game scheduled on Sunday at the Rose Bowl?
How about that, Cal? UCLA. Let's tee it up maybe Tuesday morning, whatever.
Cal and Arizona State postponed because of COVID. Utah, UCLA, same thing. So, hey, Cal, UCLA, you guys free? Yeah, well, see you at the Rose Bowl. Let's do it.
Remember all that film we watched? Forget it. We're playing the other shiny orange, gold helmets.
Yeah, whatever, right? That's got to be
matchup of two great coaches right there. Great dudes, Chip Kelly and Justin Wilcox. Great dudes, great coaches.
I mean, that's pretty much how all of them are if they spend time in Eugene, right?
That's right. Wilcox is a hometown product, Junction City, Oregon.
Oh. Mascot? You know,
gosh, I do. It is.
I only asked because I figured you would know.
Tigers? Tigers.
Sounds good. Sure-handed Merrig handling the duties with Darius Davis. You know, that was one of the biggest fears for West Virginia today was this phase. The punt return for TCU with what Darius Davis had done, and so that is no small thing that he's not playing.
That's huge, and you know, I've been impressed by the rookie long snapper for TCU as well, but they've got to create an impact play right here, and maybe that's why Gary Patterson took the timeout. They had 11 guys on the field. Everybody looked like they were lined up, but maybe it's, hey, we got to put our chips in the middle here and create a play.
And in a game where there's been limited possessions, just 7 each team, running out of opportunities here. Set to get decent field position, but down 2 scores, 13 minutes left, and a day where they've got offensively only 212 yards. Not much wiggle room left to try to get their 3rd consecutive win after the 1-3 start. Official getting a little work there, getting taped up.
He's probably stepping in the middle of that.
Right.
Got a little whatever shoulder pad or something on those guys in the middle. Man, that's a dangerous job.
Yeah. All right, good to go. Punt team is out. Merrick back to return. It's a line drive. Merrick follows it, and West Virginia's on it. They put him back there with no Davis and no Spielman because he's the most trustworthy option they've got. Just catch it. It bounces off him, and the first turnover of the day comes on special teams. Recovered by Sean Mahone.
Absolute stud on their defense, and you said it. They got an all-conference from the Big Ten returner, J.D. Spielman. Darius Davis comes in and does an unbelievable job. All he needs to do is catch this, give his team a chance. And instead, it flips the field and puts West Virginia in business, moves that clock, and try to create a 3-score situation if you're West Virginia.
At the TCU 42-yard line.
That's tough. You know, he is in a little bit of a spot where that ball goes kind of sun to shade back into, or sun into the shade. It may have played a part.
Under center here, they hand it off to Sam James, who lowers the shoulder, gets 4, stopped by Nook Bradford.
Sam James, we talked about how much we like this guy's athleticism. Very experienced guy, and that's one way to force feed him the ball. Keep the clock running. Try to grind out some yardage.
If you're West Virginia here, you got to get a touchdown, right? I mean, a field goal, it's still a 2-possession game.
Exactly, yep. 100%.
Set up at the 42-yard line. Best starting field position of the day for Daggy and the Mountaineers.
You would take any points, you know, sure. The way your defense is playing right now, you would love that 2-touchdown lead. That's looking good, but you'd love to put it out of reach.
On 2nd and 6, Daggy steps into one, launching for the 10-yard line. He's got Simmons, touchdown, second of the day. And there's that touchdown they're looking for. 38 yards, and Simmons, who came into the day without a touchdown this year, has 2 of them against TCU.
Love it. Just the back shoulder slot fade. Everybody runs this play too. The inside receiver running a vertical route, and it's going to become a one-on-one matchup at the top of this. And there it is. There's the fade from the slot. And the biggest part of this was the early air by Daggy. He was getting hit as he threw. Protection broke down. Great spot. Simmons high points it, strong hands to finish it.
Teaching tape on that spiral, turn it over, coming down to him, huh?
No doubt.
Opened it up, taking advantage of the special teams turnover. 24-6. TJ Simmons with a 2-touchdown afternoon. On the verge of moving to 5-3 on the year. That would match last year's win total, and it would be a really important win when you consider what's to come. Not that there are no wins to be had there. Are they toasting? The toast to the kickoff here? All right, cheers.
Here's to you, Mr. Leg.
They've got Oklahoma coming here after a bye week, and then at Iowa State. A couple teams still in the conference title hunt. Savion Williams to bring this back. And Williams galloping his way across the 25 as we look back at that touchdown from Daggy.
Yeah, just a great job by Daggy. Watch O'Shawn Mathis bearing down on him, and he has to let this go early with air. This is why we call this a slot fade. The guy in the slot running a fade route, one-on-one. Daggy early out with a perfect location. The back shoulder throw. TJ Simmons can go back and high point it against Van Zandt. That's how you draw it up.
Reaction you heard as we went to the replay there was more post-play scuffling. The fans wanting a penalty, but officials have done a good job separating the players without punishing anybody too much. We have seen a few post-play penalties. So now a 3-score game. Duggan in the offense, needing to be perfect. Rolling to his right, setting his feet, heaving it long. Zach Evans broken up at the last moment by Sean Mahone. To recover the fumble on special teams. The running back Evans was way out there, but Mahone breaks it up.
Yeah, Mahone, they've loved how this guy's played, and that is great patience. The hardest thing is you're out there in the middle of the world right there, and it's hard to not chop early or hit him early and play in the high hands. As soon as Evans' hands come up, his hands come up, great play. I love to see that Zach Evans utilized in different locations too, not just running back.
Top recruit TCU's ever had. Considered the top running back in the country coming out of high school, North Shore in Houston. He's got it here for a short gain. I mean, this guy was drawing comparisons to a high school version of Adrian Peterson coming out.
Pump the brakes.
Yeah.
Pump the brakes a little bit on that one.
He originally committed to Georgia. They released him from his letter of intent, and then it was a huge surprise that TCU wound up being the school. They'd never really even been in the picture. He had a few different top 5 lists or, 3 finalists. TCU was never one of them. And then he wound up in Fort Worth. Out of the game on 3rd down. Duggan steps away from Messidor initially, but Messidor holds on. His team-leading 5th sack of the year.
Just too much of an ask, man. 3rd and 8 backed up. It really turns into a 3-man rush as the spy drops out to keep his eyes on Duggan. And as you said, just effort from Akeem Messidor. Tried to seal this baby with a sack.
True freshman from Canada. What an addition he's been to an already very good defensive line. It's a flag going to go on TCU.
False start. Offense number 17. 5-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
So barring a huge rally over the final 10:30 here, TCU in danger of falling below 500. And having their issues away from home continue. Good spiraling punt from Sandy. Alex Sinfield has it at the 40. And good special teams coverage with the tackle coming from Deshaun McCune. West Virginia's defense, one of the best in the country this year. Keeping it up today as Messidor gets the sack to end the drive. He's not entering the ring. 4-time heavyweight champion in West Virginia. The left guard starting as a true freshman for West Virginia. So go to Letty Brown on 1st down.
And the real stuff, right?
Yep. Frazier, so advanced. I mean, true freshman out of Fairmont. Not often you see a true freshman get a start at West Virginia, let alone along the offensive line.
Yeah, this guy's legit. He's fun. He's athletic. He's tough. He's versatile. They talked about how many positions he could play. Part of that comes back to his mental acuity.
Learned the game from his dad, who played at Fairmont State. Brown, huge roll off the left side. He steps out of a tackle and hits the sideline inside the 30. Somehow it's a little bit quietly been another big day for Letty Brown.
Just a garden variety inside zone, split zone where that tight end's going backside. The back's trying to press it, and the opening comes to the bounce, which is the first thing and the rarest of all to happen.
Doesn't it feel like, 151 yards, but it doesn't necessarily feel like that.
Yeah, had a couple big chunkers, but yeah, it has been a blue-collar West Virginia day for Letty.
7.7 yards per carry.
That's good.
Yeah. The junior out of Philadelphia just keeps on getting better. He last year had 367 yards total. That led the team. He's getting close to 1,000 this year. He's got a couple more there, stopped by Garrett Wallow. And the coaches say that his emergence this huge season has corresponded with his emergence as their best practice player.
Best practice player, best protector, attitude guy. It was a cool, vibe that those guys put off about his work habits. Even when he was down.
It's questionable coming into the day with that left leg injury that he suffered on the first play against Texas last week. And it's hard for West Virginia fans not to sit there and wonder what might have been had they had Letty Brown in that game. Got it again here, going backwards. O'Shawn Mathis, the tackle for loss.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The coaches, too. Coaches this week,
sure,
they were lamenting that fact, but got to go with who's available. And they've done a tremendous job against an exceptional defense today, been very efficient all day long.
And the extra hard thing is that if that game goes the other way, West Virginia's still got a fighting chance at making an appearance in the Big 12 championship game.
Yep.
A lot of teams alive, pretty much half the conference still alive for that. Brown again, good surge from the O-line on 3rd and long, but needed a bunch and got about half of it. Van Zandt and McCune combining the tackle, 4th down.
Yeah, just working the play clock and not taking a chance there on 3rd down to let that explosive play or create that explosive play for TCU. He'll work this all the way down and kick a field goal. Maybe take a timeout at the end of this. Neil Brown, you can still have all 3. Going to operate your 15-second field goal here. Yeah, this felt like a must-win for either one of these teams to kind of make that next ratchet up out of the middle of the pack in this conference.
Led from 40. Misses for the first time. No first miss of the season for the sophomore from Charleston, but Neil Brown's team well out in front. 24-6 over TCU.
They try to swallow me whole, God be my witness.
Final minutes of this one. All West Virginia, 24-6. TCU takes over after the missed field goal. Just over 200 yards of offense for the Horned Frogs today. Andre Miller on first down with a gain of 5 or 6. And TCU has not won a game this season where they've not been dominant running the ball. These are the last 2 weeks. 247 against Baylor, 270 against Texas Tech, 108 today. And I mean, 108's not bad, but when you have no passing game, that's not enough.
Yeah, they just haven't created any separation in the secondary. There were 2 routes really where guys were clean, guys were open, and the near touchdown that
Crowell shut down. X3 low, fought through the block to drop him. Yeah, so they got 108 rushing. They have 101 passing.
Yeah, this is the worst thing you want for this kind of makeshift offensive line right now is to get into a drop back contest, and you see the draw play, the perimeter quick throw to your tight end. They're just, you know, it's hard to block these guys with a full slate of guys, let alone guys that are battling.
I mean, even coming out of halftime at 14-3, that for this offense right now is a tall mountain to climb. They're not built to come from behind. They sprinkle in the turnover and pretty much spelled doom for TCU. Duggan in trouble, able to keep it alive, and broken coverage. Amari DiMercado behind the defense. A big play inside the 25. So the running back DiMercado tracked down by X3 low eventually after a 42-yard gain.
Yeah, just great reaction here by Duggan. As you said, it kind of got engulfed there initially, stepped up, eyes downfield, and X3 low comes out of coverage and pays for it.
Duggan finds DiMercado again, runs away from low, and gets crunched by Fields, who's got 107 tackles today alone. I'm going to double check
that. That's a record. I think that's a record.
That's
conference
right.
And national.
Eesh.
Duggan took another shot on that, took it low. I think he was blocked into it. It wasn't a penalty situation.
Inside 5 minutes now, 2nd and 6. DiMercado again. Messidor gets him from behind, but he gets a first down. 1st and goal for the Horned Frogs.
Great pursuit by Messidor to get him on the ground. He was the only thing left between him and the end zone.
For the ball up to the line of scrimmage, and apparently it wasn't a first down. They spotted him short, so sneaking it. They say bold strategy, Cotton. 1st and goal from the 10 and a quarterback sneak.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Now go, TCU, go with some tempo here. 4-15, 3-score game.
And it is now 1st and goal.
Yep, it's that fine line between getting your best play and playing with tempo, knowing you got some downs here.
They'll run it with DiMercado. And Amari DiMercado gets tripped up. Guess who did it? Tony Fields.
108? Is that what it is now? 108?
Yes.
Tony Fields from Vegas by way of the University of Arizona. That's what they count on him to do, is run sideline to sideline and make those ankle breaker plays in space. That is so hard. Just imagine you've got the most athletic guy on a lot of teams, the tailback, in space against your linebacker, and you've got to tackle him.
That ball gets intercepted by Tyke Smith. If he can get by Duggan, it could be a house call. He does, but Duggan slows him enough to let everybody else rally, and that should wrap things up. 2nd pick of the season for Tyke Smith. And it returns it all the way to the 45-yard line. What a day for this West Virginia defense.
Great defense. This is an RPO type of situation. And what they do is they punch out Tyke Smith right underneath the slant route behind him, and he does the rest. Great scheme and really hard execution by Tyke Smith. You're catching a fastball right in your face down on the goal line and makes the most of it, taking it back.
That is the 10th interception of the season for West Virginia. Top 10 in the country. And top 10 in the country is something you can say about a lot of phases of this defense. Which a year ago is near the bottom of the Big 12 in a lot of categories. You know, coming into the year, Neil Brown said, we want to be the most improved team in the country. Statistically, you can make an argument that they are.
No doubt. I thought that was such a great realization by him. We had their opener, and that's where that comment came up. And that was just a big picture statement. He came out of the first game and suspended half the team, basically, either 8 or 9 guys that were suspended. Makes that statement of, hey, I'm building this, right? I built it at Troy. I've seen some of these other rebuilds and build jobs. We're going to do it the right way. And that's a bold, big picture statement. You have to have a lot of foresight to make that statement.
Sinkfield gets a few. Third down coming up. But we take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. Sponsored by Pacific Life, more than 150 years strong. Trust in your tomorrow. Really, it's been West Virginia the whole way. They had a 99-yard touchdown drive to open their offensive day. Another big day for Letty Brown. 158 yards on the ground for him. How about TJ Simmons? His first 2 touchdown catches of the year. And another efficient day for Dagey. 19 of 26. 212 yards. Couple touchdowns. And for the 4th consecutive game, no interceptions. This one coming against a defense that picked him off 3 times last year. Sinkfield again on 3rd down. Not much there. D. Winters the tackle. Inside 2 minutes and 4th down. A good bounce back game for Letty Brown. You didn't know what you were going to get from him after he was injured last week and had only 47 yards, but 156, better than 6 yards a touch.
Triple the output, and just as you brought it up, a workmanlike day, a quiet 6.5 per carry. But just can't say enough about Jarrett Dagey and this plan going in. These guys attacked the perimeter. They did a great job. He put the ball where TJ Simmons, Letty Brown in space, Sean Ryan early, did a lot of really good things.
Going to be a delay game here unless they get a timeout called. It looks like they did.
Timeout called by West Virginia.
We're going to take the timeout with them and back for the finish with 1:06 left. Big Noon Saturday is presented by AT&T Business. Our people at Network will help keep you connected. Let's take care of business. And is sponsored by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. 24-6, final minute 6. Joe Davis and Mark Helfrich here in Morgantown, where West Virginia is about to move to 5-0 this year. There's the fair catch, and he's got it at the 11-yard line. Well, once again, this West Virginia defense, a big part of the story. 9th time in the last 10 games they've held the opposition below 200 yards passing. Overall today, only 275 yards for TCU.
Yeah, TCU just too little too late. Got it going on the ground in the second half. A couple of missed opportunities. We talked about the play there by Tyke Smith. A game changer there as far as ending it for West Virginia, but overall just a dominant performance by West Virginia today. Really in all phases. They've just been really, really efficient and sound.
He'll hand it off to Evans. Skates his way for first down. You know, overall numbers on the left-hand column this season. On the right, the numbers today. So how about this, Coach? Their best season average in terms of yards per game allowed since they joined the Big 12 in 2012 is 397. They're at 271.
That's just amazing. You know, in this conference, in the quote-unquote modern football, unbelievably impressive. And they're doing it the old school way.
Kendry Miller makes a couple of men miss, pulled down at the 30. Although things have shifted a little bit. This is the lowest yards per game for any conference, any Power 5 conference, the Big 12. So
Big 12's
changing the
flipped.
reputation a little bit.
Okie State playing some defense.
Yeah.
Iowa State. And that'll be interesting for this team, too, going forward. You got a week off, and then you got OU and Iowa State to finish it out. So this was a huge one for Neil Brown, and they got it done.
To match the 2019 win total, matching the total of Brown's first season, similar to what he did at Troy, winning 4 games his first year, then 10-3, 11-2, 10-3. Won't have that many opportunities this year, but a similar trajectory for Neil Brown and West Virginia. 24-6, the final score, as West Virginia moves to 5-3, and TCU's little winning streak comes to an end at 2. They fall to 3-4. Coming up at the bottom of the hour on Fox, college football action continues. It's USC and Arizona. Studios got you on the other side of these messages.